Farland, welcome back.
Glad to be back, Boom.
You know what we're missing? We got the bunting. We got a lot going on. First day of winter. Obviously, it's just a few days to Christmas. Yeah. Hopefully, everybody's in the festive spirit.
Everybody's ready to go, and they're checking the list and making sure everybody's been nice or naughty or whatever they need to be.
Well, we're running out of time here.
Exactly.
Get the wrapping paper, get everything done. I'll tell you what. Week 16, Boog. I mean, if you look at the games atop two divisions in the NFC earlier this week, and, you know, Herm, who was here last week, and we love him.
Yeah.
Herm always says, I got one word at the end of Sports Center on Sunday morning. I got one. Preposterous. Here's what we mean. Again, we're not trying to analyze these things, but the 2-point conversion by Seattle, because Charbonnet picked up the ball like a spilled glass of wine, and Seattle made 3 2-point conversions coming back from 30 to 14 and winning in overtime. Then the Bears recover the onside kick, which is like, what, a 5% chance? And they go on to stun the Pack, who were, 12-1 against them in the last 13. And that's how the top of the West and the top of the Norris, or the North Division of the NFC, that's how they have been decided for now in the 1 and 2 seeds. So we have the same thing coming today?
I hope so.
Well, here's what we got. We have the NFC South, and nobody had this team. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina with a chance for first place, but so did the Bucs. They come in each, 7-7. So here we go. Panthers
at home.
Panthers at home for about a year and a half. They've almost been automatic. Baker Mayfield, Jalen McMillan, he bobbles, but much of the Bucs names that you know are back finally. So you figure it's Tampa's day, especially when Mayfield finds Mike Evans. Touchdown, 7-3 Bucs. Second quarter. Rashad White with power around the left side. More than power. 39 yards. 48-yard field goal. Chase McLaughlin's going to try it to give the Bucs a touchdown lead, and it's good. But Ashawn Robinson called for roughness.
That's a really good call, Boom. You can't hit the long snapper. He's a defenseless player. Good call by the ref.
So the Bucs, you don't argue with it. They take points off the board, but 3rd and goal, Sean Tucker can't go anywhere. So they kick a field goal anyway. They lead 10-3, but they missed that opportunity. Baker, how's it going? Did you get your wrapping done? All the gifts? Yeah, we're ready. Merry Christmas. I got the eggnog. Bryce Young, Teteroa McMillan. How nice is that? There are games when he looks like that, Boom.
No doubt about it.
13-10, Carolina. First drive of the second half. Mayfield, White, smell of the goal line, almost down to the 1. There was a big third down conversion. Bucs, and now Sean Tucker tucks it in. And Tampa Bay's leading 17-13.
Bucs ran the ball well all day long, Boom.
Now the Panthers drive. Over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Young to McMillan. How does he catch this?
This is what you call an X-receiver who's a big body guy, goes up and just makes the catch.
So, late third, Young. How does he get away? And then and then and then he throws to Jatavian Sanders. Under control. 20-17 Carolina. 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Young. We're tied at 20. To Jalen Coker. Bryce is on the money, 34-yard pickup. Field goal, Panthers, good. 23-20, Carolina at home. But how many times have we seen Baker be the hero? 2-minute drill. I'm going to run it. And I'm not running out of bounds. Not yet. 26 yards, 49 seconds to go. Down to the 42. At least a tying field goal until, oh no, Evans went that way. But Lathan Ransom holds the Bucs up for Ransom.
And yeah, Baker Mayfield thought Mike Evans was going to go to the left. Mike Evans thought Baker was going to run. Little confusion there, INT Panthers.
And, all right, Bake, we love you. You were here once. We appreciate it. Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers, they're 8-7. The Bucs are 7-8, both very much alive to win the division. But the Panthers win this 23-20 for the young head coach and the young quarterback, Canales.
My message to them was like, we've been playing playoff football for a really long time, and because of our record early on, every single one of those games, for the last month have been so critical for us to be in this spot. And so we get another week. We got another opportunity, and we have to be able to make sure we take the lessons from this one and move forward and try to find our best football.
We shot ourselves in the foot enough today to lose this ball game by 3. We understand that. We definitely understand that, and we got to take it one day at a time. And again, I think the guys are accountable, the coaches are accountable, and we're going to load up and we're going to come back Monday. Hopefully in 2 weeks we get a chance to see them again and play for something.
Well, we'll get into all that in a moment. Let's first start with Carolina. This is something that jumped at me because no way you and I would have had this.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, since 2023, when Carolina was not good, and half of last year, not good. Nobody has more than his 12 fourth quarter or overtime come from behind drives to win the game. Like you would not have that he's the leader. Point is, Carolina, from nowhere seemingly, has played with poise for a long time this season, Booger.
No doubt about it, Boom. Bryce Young has been outstanding. And ever since Dave Canales put Bryce Young on the bench, and he's come back, he's been outstanding. And they play complementary football. They run the football with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. Bryce Young is throwing the football to Tedroy McMillan. They don't turn the football over, so they don't beat themselves. Defensively, their corners on the outside are really good. And what you saw today, you saw an offense that was efficient. You saw a quarterback outplay Baker Mayfield, and you saw the Carolina secondary. They were able to do something that the Bucs secondary couldn't do. Notice in crunch time, one-on-one matchups, Carolina won those, the Bucs secondary didn't. Carolina looked like the better team today, and at the beginning of the day, I didn't think I'd say that.
Carolina in first place in their division. They host next week. First place, best record NFC at the moment, Seattle. That's tough. The big deal is if Tampa wins next week at Miami, no matter what that result is for Carolina, that game of the last week at Tampa, Tampa means something. But the Bucs are now what? 1-6. 1-6 after a season in which they were slaying a lot of dragons.
Boom, they've lost 6 out of 7. And if they win next week, to your point, then the last game means something. But it's bigger than that. They're not playing good football right now. The quarterback's not seeing the football well. And if you look at what's happened at the podium the last 2 or 3 weeks, the head coach goes on a parade where he uses a lot of expletives. You see Baker Mayfield insinuating some things that are going on. There's a disconnect with the Tampa Bay Buccaneer team right now between the coaching staff and the players, and I hope they're able to get it fixed because we've seen this team go on the road and beat Seattle, so we know they're talented enough, but right now they're not playing up to their capability, and when you lose 6 out of 7, the confidence starts to wane. You wonder if we can get it done, so they got to figure out a way to get their mojo back.
Well, we know they won the division 4 in a row. Carolina's last time Super Bowl year with Cam Newton, that was 2015. You know what it looks like to me with the Bucs a little bit? They had so many injuries early, didn't complain. It's like they tried and succeeded so hard to keep the boat above water. And now that everyone's back in the boat, I'm not saying it's too heavy, but it's almost like they've worn themselves out. That's not an excuse. That's not to put anything underwater for Carolina, but is that fair?
I think that's a fair way to put it, even though now they're back healthy. They still have everything in front of them. They can win the division, and they can host a playoff game, but they got to beat Miami, and they got to beat Carolina.
Doesn't feel great, but the boat's still floating. The boat's still floating. Buffalo Bills, they're feeling great now. The 4-0 start, rough middle of the season, at least for them. But now, can they go 4-0 after that rough middle? Josh Allen against Shedeur Sanders, right down the road for Buffalo. A lot of fans in the stands for Buffalo at Cleveland. Shedeur to Harold Fannin Jr. They got a lot of good-looking youngsters.
Harold Fannin, one of the better rookies in the league at the tight end position.
7-0 Cleveland. James Cook. James Cook is going to shake, bake, rattle, roll. Look at all the moves for 44 yards. You know what? He's passed Jonathan Taylor, who hasn't played yet this week, the leading rusher in the NFL, over 1,500. 7-7 after 1. 13-7 Bills. Shedeur, speaking of shaking and baking, dad in the stands. 16-yard gain for the rookie quarterback. He's fired up, but Blake Whitehart's foot hit Sanders' right hand and cut him.
Cut on the hand, on your throwing hand, and it starts to bleed. That's never a good thing. Look at that.
13-10, the Browns get a field goal on that drive. So they're in the game, 3 minutes to go in the second, but it's Cook. And he reaches over for the touchdown. He had 100 in the first half. 20-10 Buffalo. Shedeur. Oh, look out. Judkins is down. Quinshon Judkins, another one of the really outstanding rookies, could be fractured fibula and dislocated.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially late in the season. A promising rookie year comes to an end.
Now, we know that Myles Garrett has a chance to set the sack record. Look at Josh first somehow avoid the safety. Myles, well, he gets credit for a half a sack. He's one away from being the record holder.
Anytime the quarterback falls down, the first defender to touch him gets the sack.
Well, that's going to happen. But meanwhile, send ball tipped by Joey Bosa. Daquan Jones, the big fella, 320. You love this.
The best athletes on the field, Boom.
Well, and the Bills get a field goal, 23-10. And then Fannin Jr. gets a touchdown, but 23-17. Under 3 to go. Here you go. The Bills are going to ice it. Dawson Knox. Oh, the Titans had such a big game last week against New England. Couldn't get it.
Yeah, but almost like he was looking back into the sun. And
well, supposed to go down earlier the first day of winter. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, they went for it on 4th and 1. The Browns got the ball, but look out. It was not the day for the sack record for Myles Garrett. It was the day for Greg Rousseau. He had 2.5 intentional grounding. And then Josh Allen with a big run to make it a first down. Sometimes that's what this show does. Shows you the tough 2-yard run that essentially ices the game. I know the Bills, you only won by 3, 23-20, but they do win it. And for Buffalo, who, again, now they've won 4 straight. Cook, 117 for 1,532 yards. And, oh, by the way, 900-yard rushing games this year for him. First Bill to do that since Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas, 1992. Chargers, Cowboys. You know this game would be fun. Of course, the Cowboys eliminated, but at home, could they give Justin Herbert and the red-hot Chargers a game? The answer was first half, you betcha. Dak to George Slim Pickens, big 4th down play. Then on 3rd and 4, Dak to Ryan Flournoy, Northeast Missouri. Cowboys?
Cowboys offense is fun.
Yeah, they are fun. Yeah. Nobody's questioning that. 7-0. Justin Herbert. Well, he's fun. Quentin Johnson. Look, Ma, one hand.
How about him, Boom? Early on in his career, he couldn't catch with 2 hands. Now he's making one-handed catch.
Very good. 7-7. 5 minutes left first half. 10-7 Dallas. Herbert. Here you go. McConkey. Nice. 25 yards to Ladd McConkey. 14-10. Chargers. Then Dallas. Dak. George Pickens. Touchdown, 17-14 Dallas. Kind of the game we thought we'd get. Fun. 30 seconds left in the half. Look at Herbert. I can throw it overhand, but I'd rather do whee to Keenan Allen, just short of the end zone. He's seen it all.
No doubt about it. And I just love the improvisation. I can't get it overhand. Just get it to my guy so he can make a play.
So at the 1, what injured hand? I'm taking it. Touchdown. A clean first half, including no punts, no turnovers, 21-17 Chargers at the break. Now they kick a field goal, Charger 24-17, 4th and 1 from the 11. Hunter Lipke, unfortunately, only gave lip service to that. Chargers stopped him, and now Cowboys down 27-17. Brian Schottenheimer, 4th and 10, own 46. Dak, pressure, forget it. Turn it over on downs again. Chargers defense. Next LA drive. Herbert. You're going to use 2 hands, 1 hand, or no hands. It doesn't matter. It's Johnston. 25-yard pickup, 4th and 104. Moving the sticks. And he's back, this rookie. He's already making a difference. So Marion Hampton in the end zone. The LA Chargers win it with a big second half to the chagrin of Jerry Jones. 34-17, and I got to tell you, the Herbert, 23 of 29 for 300 yards. The Chargers had their season high 452 in offense. Jim Harbaugh on his quarterback.
It was fantastic quarterback play. It's definitely MVP caliber. I mean, he's doing things game after game that are reserved for only the best, that are in the game and have ever played the game.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I think, a lot of it goes to the offensive line for, the job they did today in the run game. And then Keenan, Q, Ladd, Trey, and Dre, they made some big plays for us too. So to have guys like that able to throw to them, they make my job so much easier. So I'm really thankful for them.
The LA Chargers are 11-4. So when they played that game, they hey, maybe we can still track down Denver for the division. They've won 4 in a row. And to me, this is not the type of game, Booger, the Chargers like playing.
Right.
We laugh with respect. Legal deflate game. Like, keep it low, 23-20, which these days is low. But they knew going in it's going to be this sort of high-scoring game with Dallas. And it's as if, okay, our game plan is going to – we're not going to be surprised. They look comfortable playing this sort of game, too, which makes them more dangerous than last year moving forward, in my mind.
And they're very comfortable because they have the best quarterback nobody talks about. Mm-hmm. We often talk about Allen and Jackson and Mahomes and Burrow. We never mention Justin Herbert. He needs to be in that category. He was absolutely outstanding today. And you mentioned the coach that they play for in Jim Harbaugh. You know his teams are going to be physical. They're going to run the football. They got Amari and Hampton back. They had 450 yards total offense today. They had 150 yards rushing. This is a well-balanced offense. And when Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey are on the outside, they got weapons on the outside. And they knew that the Cowboys defense, they could put up points. They put up 34 points against this defense. And boom, anytime you have one of these aliens at quarterback, he's 6'6" and 240 pounds. When you get in the tournament and you have one of these dudes, you can win it all. He's the best quarterback nobody talks about. They're the best team nobody talks about. And right now they're starting to play their best football.
And they never complain. The 2 tackles out. We know the story, but they keep winning like we said. The best teams are hot. They've won 4 in a row. Buffalo. Not the oh my goodness win that they had a week ago with second quarter. Yeah. Second half, I should say, which is what they excel in. But a win is a win is a win, and they've won 4 straight.
This is the way that I like to see Buffalo play. Josh Allen completed 12 passes. He didn't have to put the cape on. But they're the #1 running team in football. 29 carries, 164 yards. So it was a balanced offense, and Josh Allen just had to play the position and be a ball distributor. Defensively, 3 sacks, 2 turnovers. Now, I know their run defense is very porous, but overall, boom, this was a team win. This type of win, you can travel. You can go to New England and play this game. You can go to Denver and play this game. It's hard for Superman to put the cape on every week. And I thought, if they can play more like this, now maybe he's got to complete a few more passes. But if Josh Allen can just be a part of the puzzle and not the entire puzzle, I think they'll win more games. And today was a really good performance.
Well, here's the thing. They have 2 home games left. Philadelphia will be a really interesting game next week. And then they finish with the Jets. By the way, 53 years at the stadium, barring them winning the division, that will be the final 2 games at the Ralph. Opened up the year O.J. made 2,000 yards in 1973. For the Buffalo Bills, here's one thing. They got sacks from one guy, Russo. They've kind of been waiting. Now, again, it's Cleveland, which is not a great team, but still, they got 2.5 sacks out of someone on the line. They've been looking for that. Can they get one of those here down the stretch?
The closers, Boom. Like, we lamented when Michael Parsons went to the Packers. He was a closer. When you got a lead, you need somebody to rush the passer. So they got somebody in Russo. Now, if he'll just keep coming to go along with Bosa and those other guys, they got closers.
Yes. I mean, if they can ever get a lead going into the second half, then they can close the thing. Saturday games, people out shopping, people with eggnog, whatever else is going on. In case you missed it, just a short version. We'll put a little nutmeg on the eggnog.
I like it.
The Eagles, of course, trying to be the first team to win the NFC East in 21 years since they last did it with a young Andy Reid. Jalen Hurts of Dallas Goddard, he's one of the more underrated players. I mean, I know they've won Super Bowl and they've been in Super Bowl, so you know who he is. But Saquon with 132. I know this wasn't, again, a Rembrandt painting win over Washington on the road, who they'll play again in the last week after they play the Bills. But they win 29-18, and they clinched the division, as we said, for the back-to-back NFC East championships, winning 29-18. The number you're looking at, though, really want to see Saquon, 132. Bears-Packers, I mean, what can you say? They met for the 8 millionth time since the creation of the world. And you don't ever get an onside kick. Oh, no! Romeo Doubs couldn't handle it. Bears get it after they kick a field goal at the 2-minute warning.
So tough to get. Sometimes you just got to put the best hands on there. Romeo was supposed to have that, but he dropped it.
Wherefore art thou? He has upgraded. Had touchdown, had catches earlier, but Caleb, watch this throw. Actually, if you see it from behind, it's even more impressive if you've not seen it yet. To a guy they don't even know. J.D. Walker and the Bears have tied the game at 16. They did not go for 2. They held them on 4. Green Bay, of course, fumbled, although Malik Willis played really, really well. And then Williams to DJ Moore 2 weeks ago when Caleb and the Bears are trying to beat the Packers, who they've lost to. They're 1-12 against them the last week. It was Nixon that made the pick. This time Nixon wasn't the one, although really good coverage. And 2 weeks later, you try to beat us twice in 14, 15 days? Not going to work. And so the Bears, 22-16. Now, okay, Jacksonville. Yeah, you're trying to win 5 in a row, but Denver's won 11 in a row. They're in Denver, and although 50 degrees.
Hello, seasonably warm.
Oh, Jags say, hey, we're Florida's first coast. We're not afraid of 50 degrees. Trevor Lawrence. Parker Washington, first president, 21 yards. 3rd and 3, Jacksonville. Trevor playing so well as the Jags have compiled win after win this month. Touchdown to Washington, 7-0. Jaguars in Denver. We shouldn't say that. They're division leaders. Early second. Bo Nix, tremendous last week, beating the pack. Cortland Sutton. Didn't have to make a spectacular grab, but he always makes one.
Outstanding throw by Nix against all our pressure.
7-7. Under 5 to go, second quarter. Lawrence. Brenton. People are strange. The Doors, never mind. 17-10, Jags. Bo Nix. Third quarter down 17-10 to R.J. Harvey. Look at him go to the pylon. Whee! In the end zone. Touchdown, we're tied at 17.
How about the contact bounce out of the rookie from Central Florida, Boone?
17 all. Good game. Then midway third, Lawrence. I'll take it myself. 24-17 Jags. Late third. 3rd and 3 Jacksonville. Washington. Whoa! That top defense missed 2 tackles. He 63 in the 3rd one. And a 4th one. And if I... 63 yards. Washington caught balls for 145. He crossed the Delaware. He threw a silver dollar across the Potomac. Lawrence to Travis Etienne. He's an ATM machine. 3 touchdowns last week. Ching-ching! Cash. 31-17. Nix tried to hand off. Oh, no. Fumble. Emmanuel Ogba falls on it. Jags defense great on turnovers all year, Boog. Early 4th. Nix. Troy Franklin. Well, we had Washington. Of course, we got Franklin. It's 48 yards. It's 34-20 after the Broncos settled for a field goal there. 2 scores. John Franklin Myers sacks Lawrence. 3 and out. Denver's defense finally coming up big. 9 to go in the game. Nix. Harvey. Oh, he scoots, doesn't he, Booger? Gets kind of a block there. 32 yards. Broncos in Jags territory. Mile High waking up. 4th and 2. But Jerry and Jones, this is what they do. The Jags, 2nd most turnovers in the league, behind only the Bears. Then, just before the 2-minute warning, to Sutton, well, the 2 guys there, it's out of bounds. It was 4th and 11. Liam Cohen. Hardly anyone, you heard of him if you knew the tree. But when he was hired with the Jags, yeah, that's nice. No one's saying, yeah, now. The Jags have won 6 straight. They're 11-4. They've gone into Denver, beat the Broncos. First loss Denver had since September. Liam Cohen's Jaguars, hello.
I'm very proud of the resilience. Early on, and first 2 drives, we couldn't do much. They kind of gloved some of our concepts. He was under some pressure, and he never flinched. He never got out of his comfort zone. He's been playing at a high level. He's been preparing and practicing at a high level.
Well, I mean, we talk about Trevor Lawrence and the way he's playing, and I can't say we've been waiting for it because a couple of years ago, except for the loss. But this is the one that he's supposed to be a generational talent.
Yeah.
Looks good this generation.
Boom, he looks really good. And Liam Cohen, the head coach and the play caller, has unlocked Trevor Lawrence, and he's playing at a high level. He started the season kind of slow, but he's gotten better and better and better. They made the trade at midseason, bring over Myers. Now you add him with BTJ, and you got Washington. They got a trio of receivers. You got Etienne at the running back position. And that defense that's turning the football over better than anybody outside of the Chicago Bears this season has been outstanding. And boom, don't look now. But if they win out, Denver loses one more game, New England loses one game, they're your number one seed in the AFC. That's how good they're playing, and nobody is talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, nobody. And if that happens, Jacksonville will be diving into the pool. And a bye would be a great thing on Florida's first coach. You know, I think 28 turnovers forced, unless I missed one, but they had at least 2. We saw them behind only the Bears. Denver, look, like New England, I mean, they had a winning streak that stretched 2.5 months. Are we concerned? Do they take their foot off the pedal? I mean, every great defense has a couple of games where they're not quite them. Is that what you saw?
They do. They just didn't tackle today. So when we look at this, is this a bump in the road or cause for concern? I think it's a bump in the road because they didn't tackle well today. Riley Moss had a bad day. And he's the corner opposite Pat Surtain. Teams are going to throw at him all the time. He's got to be up for the challenge. Overall, Bo Nix has gotten better and better. They ran the football well. Defensively, though, they gave up too many big plays. And I think if you're Vance Joseph, when you go back and look at the tape, you're going to say, they didn't beat us, we beat ourselves. So I'm not concerned about Denver's defense.
They play right away against an injured Chiefs team on Christmas, and, so they will be heavily favored. Well, you'll see what happens with the Chiefs here. Denver had a chance to clinch the division if they won and the Chargers lost. It went totally the other way. So they play the last game of the season. Keep your eye on it. Chargers, remember, they beat everybody earlier in the division.
Nobody talks about the Chargers.
Talking about the Chicago Bears. The Bears were 0-2.
Yeah.
Then summer ended. We went to 4.
Yeah.
Since then, they're 11-2.
Yeah.
And they're winning games. I don't want to preposterous. I use that word. I mean, the onside kick. But then again, when you feel it, and again, they only forced 1 turnover, but they had the fumble. I mean, they're just tenacious, and they play these young teams like the Jags, the Bears, poised. Carolina, I say that word, but this is late in the year, and they haven't fallen off that we're poised, we expect to be here look.
You are what your record says you are at this point. And teams take on the identity and the personality of their head coach. And Ben Johnson is outstanding. He's brought the Detroit mantra over to Chicago. Think about it. 2-headed monster running back, Monangai, Swift. They got really good players on the perimeter. Defensively, they're turning the football over. They're healthy. The quarterback's not playing like Jared Goff did or was in Detroit, but the quarterback's getting better and better. He's got it. I don't know how to describe it, Boom, but Caleb Williams has it. In the biggest moments, he plays the best. He may not be perfect, but with Ben Johnson's leadership and tutelage, this is a team, I'll say this. I don't care who you are in the NFC, I wouldn't want to play the Bears because it's going to be a physical dogfight. Defensively, they get after you, and they have one of the bright young offensive minds at the head coaching position in Ben Johnson. It's been an outstanding turnaround in Chicago.
Just a real quick, I know Green Bay lost it, and we don't know as we do this show how the quarterback love is going to be with the concussion. Yeah. Malik Willis came in and played really well. I thought, and we've seen Coach LaFleur do that with them, but now the Packers they're clawing. I mean, all of a sudden it's happened, right?
He's the ultimate. He needs to get a place on that Progressive commercial about replacements. He's the ultimate replacement. Anytime he comes in, he just does the job well. That's all he does.
But the Bears are more than okay. The Chicago Bears at the moment, the number 2 seed behind the Seattle Seahawks, the number 1 seed. We could read you the odds at the beginning of the year. You'd be in business, okay? Now, Quint Ewers, 7th-round pick, Miami getting a start. Tua bench. Hard your first start. Miami at home against Joe Burrow, Bengals. Joe Burrow and Chase Brown. This is all third quarter. Touchdown. Bengals lead 24-14. Got to give the Dolphins credit. That end zone, which is old school Christmas colors. I like it. Take a look. Then Ewers tried to squeeze a pass. Ball popped up. Barrett Carter has it. Bengals defense.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Haven't seen that a lot.
Yay. Ewers threw for 260. But this is still the third quarter. Chase Brown Chase. See what I mean? I mean, I know they're Dolphin colors, but on the screen, maybe they tinted it a little. Maybe I was overreacting. Never mind. 31-14. I'm in the spirit. What do you want? Nobody needs to be Ebenezer Scrooge. At any rate, Burrow to Jamar Chase. Double coverage there. That's the way it's supposed to look. 9 for 109 for Chase. Still third quarter. Burrow to Brown. You get the picture. When you do this to the same guy 3 times in a quarter, who do you think wins? Yeah, well, bags on the head. Dolphins looked decent for a while, but 45-21. Cincinnati wins at Burrow, over 300 yards. Gardner Minshew. Now that Patrick Mahomes successful surgery, but gone for the end of the year. Won't see him till next year. Minshew and the Chiefs at Tennessee has won 2 games. But Jeffrey Simmons busts through the line. It's a safety. Kareem Hunt. A 2-0 homer. Todd Helton played at University of Tennessee. I'm going to give Helton the homer, and then wait a minute. So Minshew was hurt earlier in the drive, and he left and feared to be a torn ACL.
Yeah, how about that? 2 quarterbacks with ACLs from Kansas City.
Oh, my God. And like less than a full 60 minutes. Cam Ward, the youngster under 3, Chiefs chasing him to DK. This rookie-to-rookie combination has really worked.
He makes one of these throws every week that make you go, wow.
And then, wow, Ward to DK, touchdown, 16-9. Titans? Tajay Spears. I mean, the Chiefs are getting rolled on here. I know it's not the Chiefs we remember, but we just never thought it's 23-9. Chris Olodukan has been the practice quarterback for the Buffalo Bills in the practice squad. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, but they didn't help here. Swallowed up near the goal. I forget it. And the Titans win going away 26-9. If you just woke up from a nap, the Chiefs, by the way, first losing record since 2012. The Chiefs had 133 yards. I understand it's a third-string quarterback, but whoa, I had too much in my eggnog. Mike McCoy gets his second win as interim coach. Good job, Mike. Now, what do we got? Against the Texans. One team hot, one team not.
The Raiders.
C.J. Stroud trying to beat Geno Smith. Yeah, well, Derek Stingley Jr., one of the best in the game, Boog. And he could go all the way for a touchdown, Houston.
Without a doubt, one of the best hands corners at the position in the National Football League.
Where did he go?
LSU.
I thought so. Smith, Geno, Jack Bash. Where's he been? There we go. Yay! Don't get to say it much. Vegas trying to pull a huge upset. The Brock Bowers between 2 defenders, maybe 3. 13-7 Houston at the half.
It amazes me. Brock continues to get open, even though you know he's getting the football.
We waited. Yeah, Pete. Ashton Genty. We've been waiting for the young back from Boise State. Of course, they're behind, and I don't know some of the plays, but he can also catch the ball. Oh, Boise State. There go those Broncos. 60-yard touchdown. Raiders? They lead 14-13, fourth quarter. Now 16-14, Stroud to give to Nick Chubb. Very good insurance and a very good run. 30-yard gain. Texans new set of downs. First and goal at the 1. We're not going to run. We're going to throw. Dalton Schultz. He knows something. I know how to get open. 23-14 Houston. But then, Genty, look at him. Could go all the way. 51 yards. It's a 2-point game. The Raiders are down 23-21. Stroud says, enough, please. Nico Collins, year he's having.
Unreal connection between Stroud and Nico Collins. Tremendous catch, boom. The foot and the elbow down.
They needed that to clinch the game. Raiders at least were game. But in the end, Houston, who started 0-3, we repeat, 0-3, are now 10-5 and still breathing. No matter what Jacksonville does, Houston's breathing down their neck. And now, Steelers, Lions. This game went forever. Went so long that we're anxious to see who won because we've been on the air. Jared Goff, once upon a time, he knocked Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs in the final game ever he had with the Packers, remember? And Aiden Hutchinson says, Jared, we're going to do it again. We'll not knock him out, but we're going to try to beat him for you. Beats 2 guys.
How about the effort? Beats 2 guys, gets to the quarterback, and
DK Metcalf, like, no.
There's no place for that.
No. He stayed in the game, at least, for now. Go back to the game. 11 seconds left in the half. Rodgers, Kenneth, gain. How did he catch that? Wait a minute. They never touched him. What? However, the call is overturned and ruled. Wait a minute. The penalty ruled an incompletion. There's a lot of writing here. At any rate, amazing play.
And boom, it was a pass interference and a touchdown in the same play.
Gained well, caught well, ran well. We're tied at 10. Fourth quarter, 22-10, Steelers playing well. Khalif Raymond, boy, what a great return, man. He's been hurt a lot of the year. You forget about him on offense, 27 yards.
Now he's getting a chance to play a little receiver. Good for him.
Lions cut it to 22-17. Jalen Warren says, this is Steelers football. Look at this Steelers. 45 yards. Gone. Just drops the ball. Okay. That's the Steelers.
I've been here before.
29-17 Pittsburgh. But we're not done. The Lions, their last home game, two on the road coming. In the end zone, 4 yards to Jahmyr Gibbs, 48 touchdowns.
He's been outstanding ever since he's been drafted. Boom, he continues to score TDs.
Let me complete the sentence. 48, no, not your fault. And 3 seasons, 48 touchdowns. And a missed field goal by Chris Boswell keeps this a game. Danny Smith, right? We see him a lot.
That gum.
Goff, Jameson Williams. But you don't give us Christmas gifts, Jameson, when you're a sponsor. This is what happens. But they do call interference on Kyle
That's
Duggar.
a really good call, too, Boom. You can't hook the guy with your right arm and then come across the back. Good call by the ref.
Then, Goff to Monroe St. Brown. And for 24 yards. 8 seconds to go. 4th and goal. Down 29-24. Goff. St. Brown. Oh, my goodness gracious. Flags stood up. They called him for offensive pass interference anyway. Really?
Yeah, Boom. If you watch St. Brown, watch him go up and just push. He pushed Jalen Ramsey. That's a good call. There was a lot going on in that play.
There's a lot going on in this sheet that I'm reading. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah.
And so in the end, the Lions aren't eliminated, but let me tell you, the path is narrow. And for Pittsburgh, 29-24. Remember, they've beaten Baltimore. They're going to play them again, but they still inside track. And Kimberly Martin after the game with Kenneth Gainwell on that play, etc.
What's going through your mind watching your defense on the field, trying to close this one out?
I knew the guy was going to pull it through. I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking a little bit, but at the same time, I knew them guys was going to pull it through, and, man, I'm happy we did it.
How do you feel like you guys have come together at the right time?
I know we know how to persevere and just continue to I know we know how to persevere and just continue to grind. I mean, it takes hard work throughout the week, and us taking care of our body and doing what we have to do. And, we got 2 tough teams in the division coming up, and it's just going back to work and, one day at a time.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly. Thank you very much. So, listen, the Steelers, Mike Tomlin is not going to have a losing record. They are now 9-6. You know what we saw from them? I know Detroit's defense is not, they've got a lot of injuries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Pittsburgh looked fast on this turf. They had 3 scrimmage touchdowns at 40-plus yards. All those explosives, a lot of times that's not what they've been doing.
It's not what they've been doing, Boom, but I also thought this was still a football. Defensively, they got after the quarterback. They stopped the run. Detroit didn't have hardly any yards rushing. Pittsburgh ran the football. Jalen Warren, 143 yards rushing. They controlled the line of scrimmage. And you finally saw Aaron Rodgers. They protected him a little bit better today. And with no elements, not outside in the elements, they were inside in a dome. And to your point, everybody played faster. The quarterback looked faster. The team looked better. And when they can run the football and not put so much on old man Rodgers, they can be a pretty good football team. I'm not saying they're the best team in the AFC, but they're going to be a formidable opponent when they're balanced offensively.
Well, he's less old man now with Phillip Rivers back. He's second old man Rodgers, right? And he's looking pretty good too. Detroit, just 2 years ago, San Francisco, big lead. You know, we know what happened. They didn't win. The Niners won it. And Dan Campbell said right then in the locker room, there's no guarantee that we're going to be back here next year. And, of course, they lit it up on the scoreboard. They lit up everything. They had it all in their hands, and they got beat by Washington in the division last year. Now they're in danger of missing the playoffs. There's no way they're a flash in the pan with that offense. But this is kind of a stunner if you think about the beginning of the year. Not as much of a stunner as Kansas City not making it. But they were one, maybe behind Philly, the top NFC favorite to win the Super Bowl.
The issues continue to be injuries, especially on the defensive side of the football. Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, all out. They need somebody opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Boom, it's the same old story. Offensively, this team is a juggernaut with Gibbs and Montgomery and St. Brown and James. I can go on and on. Offensively, they can play with anybody. They are too hurt on the defensive side of the football, and they're missing guys that can be difference makers over there. And continually it happens again and again. And it's almost like they're physically beat up every single year. And I'm afraid, I'm not saying that their window is closed, but it's starting to shrink a little bit. You don't get more healthier as you get older. And all these players are starting to get a year older here and a year older. They got to figure out a way to get this done at some point.
If they don't get in, that 2 years went by quick.
Fast.
If they don't, they're not done yet, but it went by quick. Meanwhile, at the other end of the spectrum, Saints, who have thrown a lug wrench in the middle of the NFC South. Them and New England beat the whole division, right? And they're home to the Jets. What could possibly happen playing the Jets? Well, this could. Tyler Shock to Chris Olave. I know they wear the Wake Forest uniforms. Maybe the Jets need to play the Demon Deacons.
Demon Deacons,
I don't know. I love it. Aaron, he's trying, but 16-6 Saints. Early fourth, Brady Cook playing quarterback from Mizzou. Crushed by Nathan Shepard. Ball free. Saints recover. They kicked field goal, 19-6. Smith had 5 field goals. No. They found a gem in the kicking game, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Cook, oh my God, Chase Young, Barry, they had 8 sacks, New Orleans. 8.
Wow.
8. So now maybe they got to fire the offensive line. I don't know what. I really don't. No, it's Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill with a huge smile to Chris Olave. Kellen Moore's team is having a nice end of the season. They win it 29-6. They're 5-10. They won 3 in a row. The Jets fall to 3-12. Well, is there anyone in New York with a record worse than the Jets? I bring you the New York Football Giants. J.J. McCarthy, Vikings. They're in the Meadowlands. Uses his legs here, the youngster. Bang! A little bit of a greedy. The Vikings hit their first touchdown, but then Brian Burns, who's second only behind Myles Garrett, he's had a hell of a year. He and Garrett playing for losing teams having sacked. That says something to me, obviously. Tyler Nubin, that's how the Giants score.
Defensively, they've been playing well, especially since they changed the coordinator.
McCarthy's hurt, leaves to go to the locker room, and Max, what up, Brosmer, is in for the injured McCarthy. I tell you what up, he's moving on up to Justin Jefferson. 21 yards. And then 4 minutes left. Will Reichert, 30-yard field goal, gets him the lead, 16-13. A barn burner. The Vikings lead the Giants. Jackson Dart. Andrew Rip Van Ginkel up from his 20-year nap. And he's a good player. Brian Flores feasting on young quarterbacks.
No doubt.
There's no question about that. And so the Giants have won 2. That means start spreading the snooze. 5-25 combined records, the New York Jets and the Giants. Jacoby Brissett, he's played admirably. The problem is the Cardinals can't win. To Michael Wilson, we thought they might win this game against Atlanta in Arizona. Contested by Kobe Bryant. Review overturned the call to a touchdown. Hey,
the ball never hit the ground, Bo.
It never did. 10-0 Cardinals. What have they lost? 11 of 12? They were 2-0, by the way. Kirk Cousins to Bijan Robinson. He wins a race to the end zone. Mustard for everybody. It's now 13-10. He's from Arizona. Cousins, Kyle Pitts, touchdown. Extra point block. Barn burner, 16-all at the half. Then, 1916 Falcons, Cousins. Sneaks it in. 26-16%. Wilson. That ball hung. C.J. Henderson said, I'll take it. He stayed in bounds. Nice, but really nice.
And how about the catch, then, to make sure the ball doesn't hit the ground? Unreal body control by Henderson.
So, the Falcons, well, the stadium, they don't play there that much. The State Farm Stadium opened in 2006. They are who they said they were. Atlanta never won there until today. We've seen it all in Week 16. We got Sunday Night Football. You're going to enjoy it. The Ravens got to win. The Patriots, can they bounce back? For Booger on Boomer, more important. Merry Christmas to all and to